mobro.co.nz here at Armageddon Expo 2016, and we are here with Mr. Brian O'Halloran. How are you doing, Brian?
Doing good, thank you for having me.
So, welcome to New Zealand, of course. Is this the first time travelling to this side of the world for you?
Yes, it is. First time this side of the planet. It's been great. The first week of the trip was over in Melbourne for their Australian movie and comic expo, and that was a fun time. The city of Melbourne is very built like New York City in a grid pattern, so it was very easy to get around, and people have been very, very nice. But I was always stoked when I first heard I was going to be coming to New Zealand. Even months ago when my agent asked me that the offer was out there, I was like, oh my god, I got to go see Hobbiton, and that's awesome. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so I was going to go on my own, and I didn't get my itinerary as to what I was doing here until I landed a couple of days ago.
Perfect.
And the promoter said, oh, by the way, keep your Friday open because we've arranged a tour down to Hobbiton. I'm like, oh my god, that's exactly what I was going to do.
Perfect.
Very beautiful down in Matamata. It was the people are really nice. The tour was really cool.
Yeah.
And wow, they have a machine down there of how it's doing.
Intense.
But it's still beautiful.
Amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Amazing part of the country. So, kicking off officially, so how did you first get a taste for acting way back when?
I was the type of kid. I'm the youngest of three sons, so I was always acting up, as my mom would say. So it was a way to channel my acting up. Plus, I also, as a teenager, did a lot of role-playing table gaming with friends, and I was always the guy in our group who was always like, I don't know, performing the actual adventure as opposed to let's just do this, roll dice, move on to the next thing, which is really funny because the circle core of our group, who we were in the group, we kind of branched out in our own professional lives. The gentleman who was our game master, dungeon master, whatever you want to call it, he used to write his own adventures, so he would write his own modules and stuff like that. He became a professional writer and won the Pulitzer a couple of years ago, as a matter of fact. So that's a weird kind of thing. I became an actor out of what I did. And my other friends, one went into the medical profession as a surgeon, who was always that kind of guy. It's like, oh, we got to stay safe, and was a very tactician type of guy. And the other guy was about conflict resolution, and he worked for the New York City school system for a while. So it's kind of funny how what we did as for fun as kids, we kind of morphed into what we do for real life.
It's amazing, eh? And obviously, talking about Clerks, because it's how we all sort of got to know you. How did you first come to play the role of Dante?
There was auditions being held out of a playhouse that I had done theater out of down in New Jersey. It's still around, called the First Avenue Playhouse in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, which is the next town over from where Kevin Smith lived and worked at the Quick Stop. That was his real job. So he had gone into the playhouse and asked the producer there, do you mind if I rent your place to hold auditions for this movie I'll be shooting in the area? And could you possibly call up your stable of actors? Now, this is before the internet and before actually cell phones were really a regular thing. So he did. He called around to all this stable of actors that had worked in and out of that theater and saying, hey, these guys next month are auditioning. You should come down. I think you're in the age range that they're looking to cast. And I was like, all right. So a month went by. I was doing a show at another theater in the area and forgot. First night came and went, forgot. The next morning I got a call from the producer, Joe, and said, hey, where are you? I thought you were going to come to this thing. I'm like, oh, totally forgot. Is there another one? He goes, yeah, tonight. It's the final night. I'm like, okay. Cool. Came down with a monologue. If anybody has the 10-year anniversary edition of Clerks, you can see all the auditions on that. Cobbled together a monologue out of a dialogue of a play I was doing called Wait Until Dark. He liked what I did. He even said, like, geez, I wish... It was a very menacing evil. I was the evil character in that play. I wish I had a villain to cast because you'd be perfect. But he liked what I did. I came back for 2 more callbacks, and we read opposite each other, me and Kevin. We read the Death Star contractor scene. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know who I would be cast as, just because when I auditioned I asked how many principal characters were there. They said 6, but they were already cast. I was like, oh, okay. So I thought I was just some sort of side character, day player type of character, that the main characters come into this convenience store during this conversation and then leave, and then the movie moves on. He goes, no, the movie's called Clerks, and I'd like you to be one of the main clerks. There's 2 clerks. There's the video store clerk and the convenience store clerk. That's how it was.
That's amazing. Obviously, what do you think it is about Dante that just makes him so likable and relatable to so many people?
I think it's because he's a people pleaser that gets stepped on. And I think people who try to be people pleasers, or at least go along with the flow, can relate to the fact, like, here it was, I'm not even supposed to be here today, and I'm getting shitted on because, whatever is going on in the situation of whatever company. So I think the writing, which is the real star of that film, is really showing that it's an everyday, relatable, any type of job you worked in where you've been called in when you weren't supposed to be there. I mean, I'm sure prime ministers, heads of states, presidents have even said, muddled at their desk or at some sort of negotiating meeting, goes, I'm supposed to be here today.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be somewhere else. And I think that's the kind of related, the kind of thing that is relatable to anybody. It's anybody and if you haven't worked that, if you've been privileged enough not to have worked some sort of clerking service job, then you've been in either a store or some sort of service area where the service that you were given was not that great. And you'd look over the counter going, what is this idiot doing back there? So
totally.
I'm sure that's where they relate, where it's relatable to everybody.
Definitely. And what would be the shittiest job that you've ever had to work?
I once, I wouldn't say shitty. I mean, it's shittiest in the sense like it was hard labor. There was this short period of time where I was what they call a lumper. A lumper is someone who's like a freelance hire that truck drivers would hire to unload their trucks. I did that for like a 3-month period where this one guy I knew, he knew all these warehouses that were in the area, and they were like, hey, there's 4 deliveries coming, they need a couple of guys to unload. And I would do it. I would either, if I was allowed to operate the forklift by the warehouse, which sometimes I was able to undo it, or just do it by hand. You build a new pallet outside so that the guy who runs the warehouse could then move it away. That was a hard job. I did roofing for like a couple of months where lifting literally shingles up the ladder to a roof was never my bag. That's about it. I didn't really do any type of janitorial type of stuff. I mean, I worked fast food in my early teens to late teens, like from 15 to 19, I worked at a fast food chicken joint. And that was where you dealt with hot water, hot oil, cleaning fryers and all that type of stuff.
That's up. So in terms of upcoming sort of roles, I mean, we all know that Kev's currently pitching out Mallrats TV series. What sort of involvement do you sort of see yourself having with Mallrats, the show?
I don't know. We haven't been given the script, but I'm trying to convince him to let me play like multiple roles. I think it'd be nice to see the Hicks characters come in through many different roles.
That'd be great.
Kind of like the Eddie Murphy of the group, you know what I mean? Where there's one scene I'll play Dante, there'll be another scene where I'll play, Grant Hicks, the news reporter, or Sean Hicks, who was the name that we gave to the character for the TV executive that me and Matt Damon played in Chasing Amy. Things like that. Gil Hicks shows up. I think that'd be kind of fun. We'll see, but I haven't seen it yet. I know he's, from the last I heard on the internet, he's still in negotiations with a couple of outlets to come out, so we'll see.
It's exciting. It's exciting, man. And then, of course, Clerks 3, hopefully.
Well, I mean, we've had that script in our possession now for about a year and a half.
Awesome.
So when I read it, it's such a great build-up of everything that Kevin has written on these characters, and it's and it has some really great heart to it. Again, if you remember the ending of Clerks 2 in the jail scene, like you really got this. Really, you felt the heart of the Randall character and where they were as a couple, so to speak, as that friendship. And now that they've left off where they own the store. Becky, played by Rosario Dawson, is pregnant with Dante's hideous love child.
That's right.
And so to see where that's going to go is really cool, and knowing where it's going to go is really cool. But it's literally like buying someone their Christmas gift in February, and you just can't wait to see their reaction. Like, oh,
that's it.
And you got to wait until December for them to open it up. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But we'll see. I hope that there's some teasing sprinkled in throughout the Mallrats TV series. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be great. That'd be great. And I know it's something that we are really looking forward to seeing, and I'm sure like millions of people around the world, man. Well, thank you very much for your time with us today.
Not at all. Thanks for having me.
Do have a small gift for you. We actually got one of the Mobro movies inspired raglans for you.
Look at that.
There we go.
Nice.
Sorted. So that's all yours to take back, man.
You got it. You got the mustache from Movember.
Yeah, we do.
Right on, man. Right on.
So now, thank you very much, Brian. Absolute pleasure, sir.
Cheers, man.
Thank you. Beauty.